will top out later on with temperatures near 72.
A Libyan Islamic militant suspected in the 2012 attack on the U.S. Embassy in Benghazi is expected in a U.S. court this morning.
That's right. In a court brief filed last night, the government believes Ahmed Abu Khattala was motivated to attack by his extreme ideology. Khattala is believed to be a commander of the terrorist group Ansar al-Sharia. He was captured on the weekend of June 14th and is expected to face trial in a U.S. criminal court. The attack on the U.S. Embassy in Benghazi killed 4 Americans, including Ambassador Chris Stevens.
A federal appeals court is ordering the state of Indiana to recognize one particular case of same-sex marriage. The marriage between Amy Sandler and Nikki Kwasny is recognized because Kwasny is fighting advanced ovarian cancer. The 2 women were legally married in Massachusetts last year before moving to Indiana. The Hoosier state legalized gay marriage last week. However, a stay was put on that ruling on Tuesday for the appeals process.
Police in Philadelphia believe a propane tank, is responsible for an explosion that hurt 11 people when a food vending truck suddenly blew up Tuesday night. Officials say a mom and daughter were working in the truck at the time of the blast. They're listed in critical condition with 3rd-degree burns. 2 others remain in the hospital this morning. Well, we all have our morning routine, and for many that includes coffee.
That's right. Well, if you do go to a coffee shop, let's say, for that cup of joe, that means usually paying for your drink at the cash register, right?
Makes sense.
Yeah, well, no. A small coffee store in North Dakota throwing out the playbook on this
It's
one.
pretty interesting.
Yeah, the Vault Coffee Shop, they don't have any employees. Customers input the coffee that they want into the machine. They input what they want for coffee, and it makes their morning cup. So what does that mean when it's time to pay? Well, the store uses the honor system. Yes, it does leave the door open for potential thieves, but the owner says his numbers are actually doing great. And the owner says he plans to turn the room next to the coffee shop into a bakery within the next few years.
After a stop in Jackson, U.S. Senate candidate Gary Peters will be in Lansing today to continue a talk with veterans from all parts of the state. His Stars, Stripes, and Service tour has Peters talking to military veterans, and the stop will be at the VFW Post on St. Joseph Street in Lansing at 11 a.m. Peters also plans to honor all the veterans at the post during his visit.
No 4th of July celebration is complete without fireworks, right? Well, communities all over the country, they're busy getting ready for shows of their own. Exactly.
Preparations starting now, and as Kara Savoy shows us, it does take a lot to make this work, to make each display a skyrocket of success.
It's definitely a nice break from all the heat and the humidity that we've seen over the past week.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'll take that. That's still a good looking day.
Right.
Just, you know, dodge a few showers here and there.
Right. It's not going to be a wash, no widespread rainfalls to worry about, so looking pretty good.
And as we talked about Monday and Tuesday, get it all out of the system now.
Yeah.
Yep.
People are going to be traveling later today, tomorrow, 4th holiday weekend here. Might as well have it look good.
Absolutely.
And it does.
I love that behind the scenes look at the fireworks, by the way. Wasn't that great?
Oh, I know. That's got to get you festive. That's got to get you fired up.
I could see myself being a conductor back there, you know, like, and, you know, and pointing and
you know what? I don't know if I really want you near those fireworks.
I think it would just be fine. All the explosives, no problem.
You know, I will be on the other side, and I will be
watching from a distance.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The binoculars on for the Siobhan fireworks show. Still ahead, a new thriller opens the door to what police think of possession, and not in terms of drugs or weapons. We'll take you behind the supernatural scenes.
Ooh, 6:09. We'll be right back.
Money Watch.
Welcome back. It's 6:11. Cell phone provider T-Mobile is under investigation for fake charges, and parents, listen up. Graco is recalling car seats. Jill Wagner has those details and more in your Money Watch report.
We'll see if the Dow makes history today at the New York Stock Exchange. I'm Jill Wagner.
And for more on your day's weather, keep it here. Emily's in next with a look at the forecast. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll be right back.
WLNS 6 News.
More sunshine and near 80 degrees.
Still ahead, one of the funniest men in showbiz isn't laughing about his health. We'll show you what happened to comedian Robin Williams. It is 6:19. Thanks for starting your Wednesday with 6 this morning.
882-4000.
Welcome back. Robin Williams checks into a treatment facility for substance abuse. And a new thriller hits the big screen with shocking real-life history behind it. Suzanne Marquez has the scoop in your Eye on Entertainment.
Robin Williams, Suzanne Marquez, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Keep it right here. Emily's back after the break with more on your forecast. Thanks for watching.
Need a new windshield?
Looks like we'll see more sun and temperatures in the 80s.
Coming up, are you addicted to your smartphone? We'll share the results of a new study that leads us to believe the answer is probably yes.
That story and much more of your local news right after the break, just about 6:28. Thanks for watching. Welcome back, just about 6:01. Thanks so much for starting your morning with 6 News this morning. It is July 21st, and finally, it's starting to feel like it out there.
That's for sure. Today, very summer-like. Tomorrow, even more summer-like. Temperatures by noon should already climb to about 81.
Begin to educate people on how they can benefit. Francesca Emmerger joining us in the studio now with those details. Fran?
Well, many of us use health and wellness programs right? Whether it's using health-related transportation or just using a fitness program. Well, the Michigan Health Endowment Fund is trying to improve many of the state's health programs and reduce their costs. And here's your chance to learn about it. Today begins the 6-stop listening tour, and it's starting right here in East Lansing. It's the perfect opportunity to get a deeper understanding of the health issues confronting Michigan residents and learn how you can benefit from the endowment fund. The session is today from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. at the Kellogg Hotel and Conference Center. Registration is required for the event. And if you missed today's session, you're in luck. There will be 5 more sessions throughout the state this month. And you can always visit our website at WLNS.com to find out more info on the fund.
All right, Fran, thanks. Well, Michigan is one of 21 states getting money from the federal government for boat waste disposal. The $16.6 million grant is from the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. They work to maintain disposal facilities for boats. Michigan will actually get $200,000, and it'll be used to create new projects that will help get rid of onboard waste. And being out on the boat may be the perfect way to help battle the summertime heat.
That's right. The wind blowing in your face and your hair, and the water right there to cool you off. Emily will have more in just a bit on how high the temperatures are expected to climb this week. But no matter what you're doing outdoors, you're going to want to be careful. Health officials say the number of people needing to go to the emergency room with heat-related illnesses peak as the thermometer nears 90 degrees. Experts say if you have to be outside, try to do any strenuous activity in the mornings or evening hours. Always keep yourself hydrated. At least half a gallon of water every day is recommended, and you'll always want to bring that sunscreen if you're heading out in the sun.
Now, weather on the 6s.
And it's not going to get all that cool.
All right.
Good day for the air conditioning. We've been saying it.
Air conditioning, fan, anything to keep you cool.
Right.
Spritz some water here and there, just to have an assistant walking around.
Or those little fans that spray water too. Have you ever seen those things?
I've seen the hat visors with the fan and maybe water in there.
That'd be a good style.
Yeah,
good style.
I like that.
I may have to bust it out tomorrow. We'll see.
Thanks, Emily. All right, still ahead. Beyonce may not be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame quite yet.
6 News Money Watch.
Welcome back. Your time is 6:11. The happiest place on earth just got even better for some Disney employees, and good news for Comcast cable customers interested in sports. Jericka Duncan has those details and more in your Money Watch report.
Stocks were up Friday in New York. I'm Jericka Duncan.
And for the latest in weather, keep it here. Emily's in next with another look at your Monday forecast. Thanks for starting your morning here with us. We'll be right back.
For Thursday, we're also in the upper 70s with partly cloudy skies.
Emily, thanks. 6:18 is your time when we're following breaking news out of Lansing this morning. Firefighters on the scene right now of a house fire. According to our photographer who just arrived on the scene, this started in a garage at a home on the 500 block of Sherman. These are photos that he took there. A huge hole in the roof right now of that garage. Flames, as you can see, shooting out. As our photographer arrives, still a lot of smoke in that area. Francesca Emmerger headed to that scene. We'll update you as more information becomes available. Still no word on if anyone was inside at the time that fire broke out, but much more on that coming up. All right, well, sorry, ladies. Adam Levine is no longer available. You can meet the newest married couple in your Eye on Entertainment. Keep it here, and thanks for watching 6 News This Morning right here on WLNS.
At Sawyer Chevrolet Superstore.
Welcome back. It's 6:22 on this Monday morning, and pop star Adam Levine is off the market, and Beyonce's fashion sense makes it all the way to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Suzanne Marquez has those stories and more in today's Eye on Entertainment.
Suzanne Marquez, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Stay tuned. Emily's back with another look at today's forecast. Thanks so much for watching 6 News This Morning.
And 77 on Thursday.
All right, we're heating up out there.
Feels good.
Yeah, finally. 6:28 is your time, and coming up, it's a busy time for Michigan's courts. We'll tell you about a pair of trials set to get underway today.
That story, and we'll update you on the Lansing house and garage fire. We do have a crew on the scene right now, so stay with us. We're coming up right after the break.
This is 6 News.
What could have been a glimmer of light for the future of more than 300 juvenile prisoners turned dark today. The Michigan Supreme Court has spoken. That is our top story this evening. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching. I'm Jane Aldrich.
And I'm Greg Adeline. We begin with developing news tonight following a major ruling from the state's highest court.
Now, the Michigan Supreme Court ruled today that more than 350 inmates serving no parole sentences for murder committed when they were teenagers will not get new hearings that could have led to their release. Now, the court's decision today is a defeat for prisoners who had hoped to benefit from a U.S. Supreme Court case 2 years ago, which said that juveniles should not automatically be hit with the same mandatory punishment given to adults. Well, the Michigan court said there will be no retroactive treatment for those offenders in the state. And the Attorney General has said and argued that families of victims should not have to go back to court for yet another look at tragic events. Well, we've got an update for you tonight on another story 6 News first brought you back in June. And this started with a disagreement, really, at the Friendship Baptist Church in Lansing. And that conflict then ended with the church being shut down by the Lansing Fire Department.
Well, the church has been split for years into two groups, a 7:30 a.m. group and a 10 a.m. group. 2 services, 2 pastors, and 2 administrations under the same roof.
Well, now the building is red tagged for violating fire codes after one group actually locked the other group out of the church. Our Krista Lamandola talked to both parties about this today. And Krista, you were at the church. Do they know how long it will stay closed?
Well, it's going to take at least 2 weeks before it can reopen. The 730 group says they're waiting on the installation of a new door before the fire marshal re-inspects the building. Both groups say they're continuing their services in different locations until that building is back up and running. The 730 group is meeting in a garage next to the church, and the 10 o'clock group is meeting at the LCC's West Campus. As for the dispute, both parties say they haven't spoken to each other since the lockout. Back to you.
Thanks for the update, Krista. Well, an Eaton County daycare provider will keep her doors closed while a judge decides whether she can keep her daycare license.
Tina House's court date comes after a 2-year-old was found wandering in the middle of M99 in June. Nick Perot talked to House's attorney and has more on what's next for the 34-year-old daycare provider.
Our cameras weren't allowed in the hearing today. In Lansing, Nick Perot, 6 News.
All right, Nick, thanks. The state did not comment on today's hearing. A ruling is expected in the next 30 days. Until that time, unless lifted by another court, the daycare will have to keep their doors closed. Lansing Board of Water and Light customers could soon be paying more for their electric service, and board members may vote on it in just a couple of weeks.
The utility company wants to raise their rates by 7% to cover costs, including inflation, the December ice storm, and increased payments to the city of Lansing. Let's take a live look at that meeting going on right now. 6 News has learned that the CEO, Peter Lark, is expected to officially ask for that rate increase. And if it's approved, it will take effect November 1st. A BWL spokesperson says while 7% seems like a substantial hike, there will be a slight reduction, they say, in renewable energy fees, which will bring the total increase to just under 5%. If the Finance Committee approves this rate increase, the full board will then vote on it in 2 weeks. Stay with 6 News. We're going to have much more on the outcome of the meeting tonight on 6 News at 11.
New tonight on 6 News at 6, Ford is recalling more than 100,000 cars across North America for a variety of safety defects that the company says can make those cars undrivable.
The automaker announced 6 separate recalls today. We're going to take a look at those for you right now. The first and the largest affects the 2013 through 2014 Ford Taurus, the Police Interceptor sedans and Flex, the Lincoln MKT and MKS, the 2012, 2014 Ford Edge, and 2014 Lincoln MKZ. Now that recall is linked to an issue, they say, with the front axles on the vehicles. And the company says it may disengage, which can cause the car or the vehicle to lose its driving function. Now, the automaker is also recalling more than 5,000 F-59 commercial strip chassis and more than 2,000 Ford Escapes for separate defects. Ford says that they are now notifying customers and also dealers, and they say they will make all the necessary repairs free of charge. Well, Greg, it's finally here. Right now, some of the first performers are on stage to mark the opening of the 2014 Common Ground Music Festival.
Yeah, it's kind of the official start to summer around these parts, and we'll take you there live in just a bit. But first, here's a quick rundown of tonight's events. On the GM Pavilion stage right now are the So-So Glows, and they'll be followed by the Front Bottoms, Say Anything, and Dinosaur Pile Up. Over on the Sparrow stage, You Blew It is performing now. And later on, Braid, Kevin Devine, and Sea Haven will take the stage. Both the GM Pavilion and Sparrow stages will keep you entertained until 11:45 tonight. And at the Auto Value main stage, music there begins shortly at 6:30 with the Hold Steady, followed by Circus Survive at 8, and headliner Brand New going on at 9:30. Still plenty of tickets available for some of tonight's performances and those shows, and still to come over the next 6 days. Plenty of action down there at Adado Riverfront Park. Those tickets vary in price depending on the day you go, but generally for adult general admission, tickets are right around $30. And WLNS is a proud sponsor of the Common Ground Music Fest. So be sure to visit our website, WLNS.com, where you can find everything that you need to know about Common Ground under the music note icon at the top of the page.
Just hopeful the timing works out for all the performers out here at Common Ground and everyone that's going to be coming out. Until then, though, I think overall things are looking pretty good.
All right, yeah. If it rains on the Front Bottoms,
yeah, really.
Draw out a
Get
lot.
right down there to see that big group.
Right.
I know you're excited to
Absolutely.
do that. All right, still ahead right here on 6 News at 6. The state school superintendent cracking down on some charter schools, and we're going to tell you why he says transparency is a big issue for him.
Stay tuned. 6 News at 6. We'll be right back as we take another live look down at Common Ground. Folks getting ready for an exciting night. We have much more right after this.
Well, the state school superintendent says he plans to stop the creation of more charter schools within 6 months that don't measure up on the transparency scale.
Mike Flanagan spoke with 6 News Capital correspondent Tim Skubik about efforts to let taxpayers know where their $1 billion is going in the charter school system.
Last February, the state in Lansing, Tim Skubik, 6 News.
All right, Tim, thanks. So the president of the United States Humane Society paid a visit to Lansing today, all in the name of showing his support for the ballot initiative to stop wolf hunting across the state. He joined other activists at the Capitol today to ask that voters be allowed to decide the wolf hunting issue in the election this November. The pro-wolf hunting forces have one proposal to allow the hunt. The other two proposals would ban the hunt. And Wayne Pacelli, U.S. Humane Society president, doesn't like any of the proposals.
You should vote no for decades.
We'll stay with 6 News as we continue to follow this controversial debate. All right, Kevin Gale here with sports, and it's an image we won't quickly erase from our minds. A former Tiger bearing it all on the newsstands today.
What's that?
Look, I don't want to scare anybody away, but coming up, I'll show you, well, as much as I can, of former Tiger Prince Fielder on a very revealing cover for ESPN magazine today. It's quite a sight, just like Tom Izzo's garage. The coach gave me and Fred Heumann a private tour of his brand new man cave. And coming up, we'll take you inside for a little wiffle ball and more. That's all coming up next during 6 Sports at 6. Take a swing, Freddie. Oh, jeez. He's got so much he doesn't even know where to put it, guys.
Wow.
That's pretty incredible.
Hey, Jimmy Hoffa wasn't there
No.
somewhere tucked away.
Not at all.
Amazing. Too cool. Thanks, Kevin.
Coming up next, the final check of your forecast out at Common Ground. And look, the crowds are starting to gather down there.
Check it out. Nice weather. Find out all the details coming up next.
I'm sure we'll see you out here later this week.
Yeah.
Man, you know, we can always hope.
We can always
One
hope.
day Neil will make an appearance.
He might.
I'd love it.
Never give up on hope.
He's already come to America. It would be nice for him to
Heard
come
that.
to Lansing.
That was funny. Always on, always free when you head to WLNS.com. Have a good night.
See you at 11.
This is 6 News.
Well, the problems at Aramark are on the minds of state lawmakers. More trouble for them tonight, and we'll tell you about that in just a minute. It is the company that provides the state's prison population food services, and that is our top story. Thank you so much for tuning in and being with us. I'm Jane Aldrich.
And I'm Evan Pincinel. Aramark has come under fire many times this week. We've already told you about incidents with the maggots, incidents with uncleanliness, and now as Capitol correspondent Tim Skubic reports, lawmakers were back at the Capitol today, and they were worried about these concerns even more. So Emerald Morrow has these details.
All right, well, Jane and Evan, this discovery adds to a growing list of problems the state is having with Aramark. Officials tell me that the prison warden made the discovery earlier this morning while looking over surveillance video from the previous day. Apparently, the video shows 4 female workers involved in inappropriate kissing and touching with multiple male inmates in a dry cooler. Those workers were fired today, but officials say they have reason to believe this might have been happening for some time.
This just happened this morning, so they're continuing to investigate.
Now, we also reached out to Aramark for comment on this story, and we got a one-sentence statement that reads, "We share MDOC's zero tolerance for improper conduct and thank the department for working with us to promptly handle this situation." I'll have a full story you won't want to miss coming up tonight at 11. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Emerald. Well, as we said, problems at Aramark on the minds of some state lawmakers today, at least to the ones who were actually in town.
And therein lies the rub. Tim Skubic reporting that lawmakers were back at the Capitol today, but not everybody showed up for work.
The sign says, in Lansing, Tim Skubic, 6 News.
All right, Tim, thank you. Also at the Capitol, State Senator Rick Jones introduced legislation to ensure that active military personnel who are parents are not punished for not appearing in court in custody disputes while they're serving our country overseas. The bill would also ensure that they would retain custody as long as the child is in a safe environment.
So what I'm seeking to do is once they return.
Yeah, and once the bill was inspired, actually after a Michigan judge held a U.S. Navy sailor in contempt of court and ordered his arrest after he failed to appear in court for a custody hearing, despite the fact that he was on duty aboard a submarine in the Pacific Ocean.
Michigan's seasonally adjusted unemployment rate remained unchanged at 7.5% last month. The Michigan Department of Technology, Management and Budget said today June's jobless rate was the same as May's. June's rate is also down significantly from this time last year when it stood at 8.9%. The national rate for June was 6.1, down 2 percentage points from May. The Detroit Institute of Arts says it's just 20% shy of the goal to raise $100 million. This would prevent the sale of art in Detroit's bankruptcy and also help city pensions. It's all part of the Motor City's restructuring plan. The money will be available, though, only if retirees and city workers vote in favor of pension cuts. The results of that vote will be announced on Monday.
Ingham County has been kind of a bumpy ride for some Meridian Township officials as they attempt to get the new central fire station underway. Groundbreaking was expected to take place this month, but as Alexandra Illich tells us, there have been some setbacks.
6 bids were submitted for the new central fire station in Meridian Township. Alexandra Illich, 6 News.
All right, Alexandra, thanks. Manager Frank Walsh says that he is confident the bidding process will successfully move forward and the township will continue to work within the budget approved by voters. Well, ever wonder where the best hospitals in the country are located? Well, according to U.S. News and World Report, it is the Mayo Clinic in the #1 spot in Rochester, Minnesota. But there is a Mid-Michigan connection. They collaborate with Lansing's own Sparrow Hospital. The report ranked facilities on both skill and experience in 16 medical specialties and took into account information on patient survival rates, performance survey staffing, and the facility's available resources. Sparrow officials tell us that they're very excited about this new report, and they say the joint collaboration is invaluable.
With this arrangement with the Mayo right here in mid-Michigan.
And Sparrow is Michigan's first member in the prestigious Mayo Clinic Care Network.
Now, late Sunday, maybe an isolated shower thunderstorm. Chances are pretty paltry.
From 49 to 86. Wow.
Yes, it's
quite a vast difference.
Double it up, Jim Geyer.
Yeah, well, you know, onward and upward from here.
Very good.
Yeah.
There we go. Something that I know you'll be excited about, and Jane, you already saw a little bit of.
Yeah.
Get revved up, Mid-Michigan.
Yes.
How'd you like to drive home with one of those?
I would.
I think we all should. A homecoming for a classic car club celebrating its 150th anniversary in Lansing, and we will drive home the details for you when we get back. Car lovers, hold on to your seats, get ready to honk your horns. It's a Lansing homecoming of automobile history.
Yeah, history. It's true. Tomorrow, those who restore antique cars from all over the world are uniting to show off more than 50 restored cars and trucks for a classic car show with a unique Lansing connection. More than 200 members of the Rio Club of America are in town to celebrate their 150th anniversary, and they are inviting you to join in on this fun. All week long, car owners have been prepping their vehicles for this classic show, and it has some pretty cool entries like the original REO Speedwagon. Yeah, that's where the rock band got their name, and a car that was in the Hollywood hit film Public Enemy starring Johnny Depp.
They're nuts. These car people are just absolutely nuts.
That's something. And they need nice weather, Jim Geyer, for that. You can catch the car show tomorrow. Looks pretty good for weather, too, from 2 until 10 in the morning till 2 in the afternoon. Let me get that right. At the Crown Plaza Hotel. That's located just off Kreitz Road in Lansing and Delta Township. And it's so neat we have that Lansing history connection with these beauties.
I'm going to get one for you, Jane.
Thank you.
And also, if you're down in Jackson, how about this? The city in line to receive a $50,000 grant from the National Endowment for the Arts to restore, relocate, and house this historic lighted glass mural. It was commissioned by consumers in 1969. It depicts the story of electricity. It's absolutely gorgeous. The 9-foot tall by 28-foot wide mural is made up of thick slabs of color-faceted glass assembled into panels and then synchronized with incandescent lighting, including 17 500-watt bulbs. Wow. The funds are part of the NEA's Our Town grant program.
Not nice. That's beautiful.
It
gorgeous,
is.
Gorgeous.
Must see.
Must see, and so is camp season for basketball players all across Mid-Michigan.
Fred, you're up next. Going to camp.
Well, yeah, and basketball camps and baseball camps are all I will do because a tent is not my thing, gang. We'll check out a couple of camps tonight, including one where Denzel Valentine appeared with a new do. The Spartan junior to be and former Lansing Sexton standout had the kids at the Michigan Athletic Club pretty excited today. We'll check in with Denz up next in sports. Stay with us. That's Sports See You tonight at 11.
Yeah, not great. Thanks for the highlights there, Fred.
Always nice to see you. And even as a guy from Massachusetts, I was rooting for a Yankee.
You had to.
You had to.
It was important to do that, yeah.
We were all baseball fans. All right, coming up, a final look at your forecast.
The Youngs at Owasso.
Yeah, it's just
cold.
I know.
I didn't want to say the word.
We're frozen.
Fall to fall.
We are frozen.
We are.
Yeah.
For July.
I know. Well, we're dropping into the 40s tomorrow morning.
What can you do?
Yeah, but
I know.
All right. It's a refreshing start to the day.
Refreshing.
I'm trying to look at the positives
I like
here. Then 76 tomorrow, partly cloudy skies, 80 on Friday, low 80s for the weekend. Only a slight chance for a shower Sunday and Monday and into Tuesday.
Shivering
but
can
really,
be refreshing.
yeah, the normal high for this time of year is 83.
83, the normal high where we should be. This
normal
is unbelievable.
low is 61.
I'm just going to say, you walk out the front door tomorrow morning and you won't need coffee to wake up.
I'm just going to say.
Well, actually,
yeah.
Don't say that about this guy over here. He has coffee any time of the day.
Yeah, right away, let's just say. Have your coffee later. But amazing this time of year to see that kind of a temperature.
A little brief setback, but onward and upward from here.
I love it.
Trending upwards.
We are. All right, that's our time for now. Thanks so much for tuning in.
And remember, we're always on and always free at WLNS.com.
Have a nice night. Yeah, look at it.